Here's level 2. In level 2, I have something I want you to recognize is very, very, very similar to level 1, right? I still have a square root of something equals a number, right? Or a square of something equals a number. And so basically, for the first step, I want you to ignore the fact that this is an expression and just pretend it's an x, right? Like pretend this is a giant x. What would you do? Well, this would just be the square root of x equals 6. Well, I need to undo the square root, so I would square both sides, right? And again, I'm gonna just copy the equation really quick so you can like see each step. You don't need to do this like on the other problems, but I would recommend doing it in the example so you can see each step. So I'm gonna square this, right? Because remember that squaring undoes the square root. So if I want x by itself, I need to get rid of the square root and the 3. Well, I need to get rid of the square root first because the 3 is like under the square root, right? So basically this is like in parentheses, and you can't touch it until you get rid of that square root sign. So in order to get rid of the square root sign, I'm going to square it. Of course, if I do something on one side, I have to do it on the other. Okay, so then this squaring, it gets rid of the square root sign. Okay, so this, basically like this square root sign and this square, they cancel each other. So what's left is x plus 3. And on the other side, 6 squared is 36. And so then I have just a one-step equation. This is x plus 3. In order to solve, I need to subtract 3. And I get x equals 33. Over here, again, this is in parentheses. I can't touch it until I get rid of this. Well, how do I get rid of squared? How do I get rid of something being squared? I do the opposite, which is square root. So I'm going to square root on one side. And of course, if I do something on the left side of the equation, I have to do it on the right side of the equation. So I'm going to square root both sides, right? And so then what I end up with, right, is this, the square root and the squared, those cancel. So I'm left with x plus 5 equals the square root of 121, right? And this is maybe one that you didn't know, but you should have studied. And so this is 11. And I need x by itself. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. And x equals 6. Okay, now it's your turn.